Hey guys, what's up? This is Simon from DevDectic. Today I will show you how to create an advanced Ionic gallery with images and also allowing zoom of those images inside the gallery. So some time ago I had this post about displaying images and videos in a cool popover. But some of you ask how to zoom those, and it's a bit tricky. So let's get started and see how we can achieve this. We start with a blank project and we will add everything later. We can also take some of the code from the last one, or you can take a look at the new article and all the source code will be there. So what we want to have is what we want to have is some tiny thumbnails, like in the last example, and also again the Ionic slide box, and inside an Ionic scroll view, so we can scroll and zoom those images. I will just take everything inside the Ion content and make it look a bit better, and I think we don't need anything more from this one. Okay, let's give it a name, and the controller will just be our gallery controller. So we have a title, we have our Ion content, and we have a small item called My Images, and again we have a horizontal Ion scroll bar or Ion scroll view with some images which we will take from our controller. All those images have a click event which we'll call show images with the index of this image inside this array, and some styling. And we don't need to play a video, so let's cut this one out. Okay, let's go to our app.js and start a new controller, which is the gallery controller. And we need some dependencies. We need scope, we need Ionic modal, and we also need the Ionic slide box delegate, and also the Ionic scroll delegate. We will see how to use them later in this tutorial. So first of all, we have to define our images array. Okay, and we will just have some images inside our image folder. And some more. Oh, come on. Yes, that looks... Come on. Oh man. Whatever. Picture 2, picture 3, and we are fine. Also, we want to define a minimum zoom level, which we will need later. Okay. Let's take a second to copy our images. I will use just those 3 and put them inside this folder. Okay, perfect. Let's go back to our code. We want to display our slide box again in a modal view. So for this we need to create a new folder inside our www folder, and we will call this one just templates. And inside our templates folder, we want to create a new file called gallery zoom view.html. So inside our gallery zoom view, we will have a surrounding div around everything, and this will have some styling which we will add very soon. And also we want to add a on swipe down event. So whenever a user swipes down, we want to close our modal. This just feels cool, I think. Okay. Next, inside is the Ion slide box. And as in the old tutorial, we will have on slide changed, okay, calling slide chain. Okay, I guess we don't have to use this. I'm not sure if we will use this one, but we will need the active slide. So when you select the second thumbnail, you want to open the slide box with the second image centered, and that's why we have to pass active slide or set this from our scope controller. Close it. Good job. Next thing we need is an Ion slide, which just represents one complete slide inside our slide box. And as we want to have as many slides as we have images, we make a ng repeat with all our images. And now we come to the interesting part. Well, we can already make this one, which will hold our image, but this is not the most interesting thing here. So give it some styling, and we will pass the image source. Close it, and close it. Okay, now to the funny part. The Ion scroll, which is responsible for the complete scrolling or zooming. We want to allow both directions of zooming or scrolling, but as we want a cool zoom view which feels native, we don't want to show a scroll bar because that would just look ugly. And we want to obviously allow zooming, and now we come to the minimum zoom level, which we can also take from our controller. And we need some styling to get the complete result we want. So we want this Ion scroll view to cover the complete width and also the complete height of our view. Okay, two more things we need. We need to select a delegate handle, and this will have the name scroll handle plus or additional the index, so we can identify a specific Ion scroll, because we will have 3 in our slide box, on each view one scroll view, and we need to identify them later on, so we have to give them a unique name and index. And additionally, we have to set the onScroll event, which we'll call update slide status. You will see why we need this later on. It's very interesting, I think. and we pass the current active slide, and also just to make sure everything's working, we will catch the onRelease event and again call update slide stitches with our active slide. So this is our Ion scroll. Our image is inside it, and that's our model overview. So you might ask, why do we need all those things? Okay, so first of all, this outer div is just to get some styling and this modal overlay. The slide box again is to slide through views and have these dots at the bottom, and the Ion slide represents one view inside the slide box. And finally, why we need all those things. So I tried to get the old code working and some zooming, but it doesn't really work. So what I do when I try to get some features is look how others do it. So I took a look at the Facebook app, where you can zoom in images and scroll through a list or gallery of images. And what I noticed is that you can just do either one action at a time. So you can zoom in or you can scroll through the gallery list. So I thought it would be a great idea to copy this behavior, because you don't have to reinvent everything inside your app. You don't need innovation all the time. So making a cool app is often about learning from the best. And that's why we want to deactivate the slide box scrolling whenever we start zoom or are zoomed inside our view, because this will not work with scrolling. We will have, or would have, a very strange behavior. Trust me, you can try it if you want. So whenever we scroll in, we prevent this event or disable it, and whenever we are zoomed out to our min zoom level, we want to enable it again. I hope this is clear to you. If you have any questions, just leave me a comment. But before we do this, let's add some styling. I'm a bit lazy today and this is not very interesting stuff. You can find all the code on my blog, or you can just use this. Our image will have, well, 608 is a bit high, but whatever for now. It's working just like this. And the background is very dark right now, so you can change that if you want to have a different layout. Let's go back to our controller. First of all, we need some more functions. We need the show images function, which will set our active slide to parameter past. And we also want to call show modal. Well, yes. And the file will be at templates gallery zoom view, hopefully. So we need this function as well. I like to split those things because you can reuse them on this way. Very good. Okay, this one will use the Ionic modal service, and we want to call from template URL, which is our template URL, and additionally we have to pass this current scope, and once this is done, we have our modal and we can assign it to a scope variable. And finally say scope modal show, which will bring up our view. Finally, this is not very interesting right now, I know. We have to close it sometime, which is related to our onSwipe down event. Yes, no spelling errors right now. And at this point, we just need to call scope modal hide. And finally, also make sure to remove your view. Now let's get to the interesting stuff. This is our function which will be called whenever we start scrolling inside the scroll view or zooming. And as I said, we need to check for the zoom factor. So we use the Ionic scroll delegate and call get by handle. And you might remember we all gave them an ID, and at this point we're using it. So by giving them a number, we can easily get them at this point. And at this point we have a scroll view, and now we want to have the scroll position, and finally the zoom. Okay, this, yeah, whatever. So at this point we should have our zoom factor, and now we can check if this zoom factor is equal to our minimum zoom, which means we are completely zoomed out. We can say Ionic, okay, make it a bit bigger. We use the Ionic slidebox delegate and call enable slide, which will just allow us to use the slide box. You might know what's coming now. Obviously, if the zoom factor is not the minimum zoom, meaning we are somewhere inside the image, we disallow zooming. And that's everything you need. Okay. Okay, so let's try. I will use live reload maybe. Okay, whatever. And hopefully everything's working at this point. So if you have any questions on how to use those delegate methods or why we are using exactly what we're doing, just let me know. Leave me a comment or post to my blog, and I will try to find a solution for your problem. It's not working like I want to. Okay, it's this. Okay, this is our standard view, and let me check. I'm an idiot. Okay, it's working. Now select an image, and it's not working right now. No problem. We have Safari, and we can just use our inspector to find the problem. Well, no problems here. Perfect. Yes, maybe I should name the function correctly. Yes. So this is our classic slide box. Interesting. Can't find variable Ionic slidebox delegate. Well. It's here, isn't it? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the part I like about live reload. Okay, no more errors right now. So on swipe down we can close it, and well, it's a bit buggy today, I guess. Let's try this out. And I'm on the Mac, so I'm using the Alt key to get this, yeah, whatever, 2 fingers, and on that way I can zoom in and zoom around. At this point you might notice I can't swipe to the next image. So this is exactly what's Facebook doing. If you're inside an image, you're not allowed to go to the next image. So hopefully we are complete zoomed out right now. Oh, interesting. Never seen this behavior before. Okay. I think the Ionic slidebox is a bit broken, so let me take a look to fix it. Okay, so as you can see, obviously our zoom in was named incorrectly or used incorrectly here. So now everything's working. Again, open the image, you see you're at the 3rd position. You can use the slide box, you can zoom in, you can't go to the next image, and okay, once you're out, you can go to the next one. This is exactly the behavior we want to have. So have fun with it. If you like this, I would be very happy if you leave a comment or follow my channel. So have a nice day.